Hello, everybody. Larry Hernandez here, and it's Friday, and I want to share with you something that I have talked about before. But the more and more I talk to you individually, I realize that a lot of us haven't played with this tool, and that tool is Notebook LM by Google. It's free, and it is super powerful. And so once you log in, here's the link. You will create a new notebook. Now, originally, this was created by Google to help PhD students really um, quickly get up to date, learn complex topics, right? So it's great for students. Now, if it's great for students, just think about how we can use it as recruiters to quickly get a grasp on, let's say, new job roles. I'm going to show you how I used it, and you're going to be amazed at what it can do because what the team at Google found out was that, yeah, we can make flashcards and you can make study guides and you can summarize, but that it really helps to listen to podcasts. So, what this will do is it'll make mind maps, visual mind maps, reports, and podcasts, audio and video on whatever it is you want to learn about. Now, we can use this, let's just say, for a job. So here is a job with Anthropic. Maybe I have to work on this role and I don't know much about it, or I really want to nail it down. You would go to Notebook LM and create a new notebook like I have. And the first step is it's going to want you to share sources. So you've got some different, different selections here. I'm just going to put the website link, and you can paste multiple URLs. Just remember, we're basically training a little custom AI GPT. And so you don't want to give it any information that you don't want it to focus on. This is really good when you want to focus on one thing or one topic, right? We don't want to use, ChatGPT, we can learn about all kinds of topics. We want this to be an expert at one thing. So I'm only uploading the one job description. Okay. Now it's going to work and it's digesting it. Now that's on the left side here is where your sources are. If you wanted to add, let's say, any other information you have about that job, you could always add more sources. And yes, you can discover, you can use this to go look on the web for other things. But right now, I don't really want to do that. Now, so the left side, we've added a job description. In the middle, it's kind of like a chat GPT. You can chat with Google's tool about the process. So if I wanted to know something, I could start asking questions, um, you know, you could just say like, what does this person do? Right. And it's almost like if you were uploading a document to ChatGPT and you were having a conversation with it, right? The cool thing is, since this is a research based tool, not only does it give you the answers, but it gives you the references to your documents. So, in other words, we're always afraid that AI is going to hallucinate or make up things, right? I hear that a lot. It's going to make up things. We can't trust it. Now, that's not true, but you have to know what you're doing. And with tools like this, it's not going to, it's going to tell you exactly where it's getting that information from. Pretty cool, right? Now, the first thing that I always do, because usually I'll upload more than one thing. The first thing I do is on the right side, on my right side, that's your studio. So left side where I add stuff. In the middle is where I talk to, have a chat about the stuff I'm learning, and on the right side is called the studio. Now you're going to see 6 boxes here. Okay. Before I show you the really, really cool stuff, I always start with the mind map. Okay. It creates a mind map that shows you a visual representation of what you just uploaded. Now, this is very powerful because it lets you double check what it's trained on. right? So here it kind of breaks down the notes for those of you who are visual. Okay, so it's got Anthropic's mission. That's nice. Then it's got the core role, right? What the role does. It's how this person is going to contribute, the methodologies you're going to use, your responsibilities. So it's pretty cool. You're making a mind map of your job description. Very, very nice. And yes, I have shared this with candidates before on complex roles, qualifications. So anyway, you get the gist. But what I'm doing, yeah, I'm also showing you what they can do. But what I do when I train these things is I double check because sometimes you'll get excited and add a source, a document that isn't meant you don't want in this knowledge base, right? Like I may not want my um, compensation notes that I accidentally added. So I always use the sitemap to visually check what do you know before I move forward. And this will make a little bit more sense. So now I go back to the studio and I'm going to go to reports. It has some standard reports up top, but it's looking at the content and since it knows, oh, this is a job, it'll create a career profile. It'll create a concept explainer. It'll create a briefing doc, study guide, or a blog post. Or you can create your own and put in a prompt. Now I'm going to show you what I did on a short contract for PayPal. I was getting a lot of roles real quick. And so what I did was I uploaded the actual role and the notes. And so then I could um, make a mind map of the role. Because once you get a lot of roles, sometimes you're like, okay, what's the difference between this role and the other ones? So this helped me learn what the key responsibilities are real quick, right? This also helped me. It gave me a briefing document, which is just a souped up version of the job description. But what's really, really cool is it created this. It created this off the job description.
So, what does it actually mean to be a staff data infrastructure engineer at a place like Venmo? I'll tell you, it's way more than just a fancy title. Today, we're going to break down the whole thing, the job, the tech, the mindset behind one of the most critical roles powering the app so many of us use pretty much every single day. But before we dive into all the techie stuff, you gotta understand the bigger picture, right?
I mean, this still blows me away. Okay. It created a script, the visuals, the audio to really take this job to the next level.
This role exists inside a company
And
that's been
yes, you download this and yes, you share it with your candidates. You want higher engagement with your candidates? Don't just send them a job description. And I've already had one successful placement. And the reason the candidate said that they moved in the process was because they saw the podcast, because it really fills in the gaps. It's not just, you know, a bland job description. You also get audio overviews, right? And then you create reports. It created an interview brief report on this that you can share and use. So this is just a wealth of knowledge, um, and it's just real easy to do. And so we've made the mind map here. I could make a report. Let's always start with a briefing doc. Now some of these take a little while, right? And I could make a video overview. I'm going to click that. You could make flashcards. I don't really use that much unless I'm actually learning something. You can make a quiz, but the reports, and I love, the audio and video reviews are amazing. And in the audio overview makes a podcast, a two-person podcast. Let me show you what that sounds like, and let me show you a really, really cool feature. So audio overview, we're gonna hit go. We're gonna hit play.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Ever stop to think about how when you send money on Venmo, it just happens almost instantly?
Yeah, it really does feel seamless, like it's just magic behind the scenes.
Right. But Obviously,
systems. Kafka is huge here.
Kafka keeps coming up. And I saw something really interesting about how their time is split. It said roughly 50-50.
Yeah, that jumped out.
I mean, you've just created a 2-person podcast about your job. If you're not using this, you're behind. This is how to drive engagement. You can just download this and put it in your job descriptions. Now, I add more flash to it. I actually have a back-end system that puts my branding and does all these things. But if you just want to get started, you should be creating this for all of your positions. Now, here's a real cool thing. I've opened the 2-person podcast in a window here. I'm going to hit play. That's going to start the 2-person podcast. Then I'm going to click on join, and I will be like a caller calling into a radio station and asking real questions, and they're going to answer me. So let's check it out, see if it works. Sometimes it has trouble because I'm using the microphone to talk to you, and I'm using the microphone to talk to it. So there might be a little bit of a hiccup. Let's try it.
When you send money on Venmo, it just happens almost instantly.
Yeah, it really does feel seamless. Like it's just magic behind the scenes. Oh, hey, I think our listeners got something to say.
Yeah, does Venmo own PayPal or does PayPal own Venmo? How does that work?
That is a fantastic question.
It's a key piece of the puzzle.
You're right to ask. PayPal actually owns Venmo.
Venmo is essentially a subsidiary.
They've been part of the larger PayPal ecosystem for a while now.
The job description we're looking at,
I mean, this should blow you away. We have created a job description. We've created a 2-person podcast about this job description. And it's not just, I mean, it actually went out and did research on all these topics to fill in the blanks on the job description. I made the podcast. Now I'm a caller on that podcast. This is insane. So let me know what you think. And I'd love to see how you're using it. Thanks.